Listen, if you could just stop scrolling for a bit, I want to encourage those, specifically those that have been feeling a very heavy turbulence in their life. I want to encourage you on today to keep going and keep fighting back. You're being shaken, but don't think of it negatively. God is shaking you out of some things. You see, I want to tell you, He's currently bringing to light what has been hidden in the dark for so long when you were in the world. There were attachments that took place, and what God is doing for you is detaching it from you, purifying and refining you. In the world, you were in the dark, but now you have stepped into the Lord's light. So now that you have stepped into the light, He has to shine light on the darkness that has tried to hide deep within your heart, deep within your mind. That is why when things like this happen, you enter into spiritual warfare, because the enemy doesn't want you to be healed. He doesn't want you to be delivered. So don't allow the enemy to feed you those lies, deceiving you into thinking that God isn't listening, that God isn't even real. Because it can go that deep. Trust and believe it will. Or it can. Or even that joy and the peace that the Lord has promised us and given us. You see, the enemy wants to take your fire. Don't let him extinguish the fire. Don't let him dim your light, but continue to shine bright. And I must tell you that in this time, you need to discipline yourself. You need to pray even when you're not feeling like it. You need to worship even when you don't want to. In the time of going through the fire, just so that you can come out as the Lord desires you to, as pure as gold. Lean towards faith and not feelings. This relationship with God isn't feelings, but it's faith. Do not base your relationship, that connection that you have with God, to be based merely off feelings. Because once that feeling is gone, there goes your faith. But if you can learn to stand on faith alone, then that right there will guide and help you. Listen, and I'm going to need you to listen very carefully to this. Please listen. During Jesus' time, heavy stone slabs were lowered onto olives that have already been crushed in an olive crusher. Gradually, the slabs' weight squeezed the olive oil out of the plump, and the olive ran into the pit. There, the olive was collected into clay jars. Now, some of you may have been thinking, he reading too slow for me, but I wanted to make sure that you all caught it. You see, some of you may have been feeling crushed. You've been feeling as if you're going through a time of crushing, but let me tell you that you're going through that crushing because the Lord is trying to bring forth that oil. He's crushing you to bring out that oil. It's also that your oil can come forth, so that it can be increased. I've been going through a time of pruning. The Lord is really pruning me, and I'm willingly going through the consuming fire, and I'm really just desiring to be made whole, and He's detaching some things from me, fixing me and changing me and healing me from what I've brought with me from my past, and He's detaching it from me and freeing me. And today I just felt led to read, and I'm reading in Isaiah. So I wanted to give you all this because some of you, I just pray really this touches you all on a level where you can finally get that rest that you desire to have in the Lord. Isaiah 43 verse 2 says, when you go through deep waters, I will be with you. When you go through rivers of difficulty, you will not drown. Let me say that part again. When you go through rivers of difficulty, you will not drown. When you walk through the fire of oppression, you will not be burned up. The flames will not consume you. But I want to highlight, when you go through rivers of difficulty, you will not drown. You haven't been defeated. Can I tell you the truth? Once you have given your battle to God, Once you have forgiven what you've been battling with, what you've been tugging with, what has really overwhelmed you and become a burden, once you place it in the Lord's hands, I have to be honest with you, you have already won. But your thing is to stay encouraged, continue reading, continue praising Him, even when you don't feel like it. Continue praying, stay prayed up. You have to war, especially in the time that we're in. You have to war. So stay encouraged, and I love you all. Thank you for the time.